Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm putting some laundry away, putting my clothes away. I try to do a little video while I'm doing that. I seem to do better while I'm distracted. I've got a second thing that I'm doing instead of just speaking in front of the camera. A couple videos ago, I was getting pretty down on the Democratic Party because I believe that a lot of my views in my past, when I worked for the military, went against what they were doing. When I say they, the leadership, the higher up people. And I realized after a comment that I got on YouTube, you know, some people were really hating on me because of that. And I wanted to clear some things up. And I said, I'm almost Republican. And I think I was getting a little bit excited that day, and you know, if anybody's a targeted individual, you kind of understand you have good days, bad days, days in between, and you know, you don't always say things the right way, I guess. And I've actually never voted Republican myself. I've always registered, I'm sorry, I've never registered Republican. I've always registered independent. Voted for libertarians a lot. Voted for Gary Johnson actually this last time. I was excited when Trump won because Hillary didn't, but that was my own personal opinion. I wasn't too excited about either choice when it was happening, and then I started seeing some things that seemed like positive things happening with the current president. And I know there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in politics, and you know, a lot of this goes way higher than you know, than politics. What's going on with the deep state? And I think I went a little overboard, I guess. You know what I said. Not in favor of communism. But I don't think all liberals or all Democrats are bad people. They have different views on things, different financial situations, and different needs. And people's political views change. You know, not change, but people's political views are different based on maybe the area they live in, their, like I said, their financial position, things like that, their family history. Different things like that, and actually one of the things that made me think about it was I follow Sheriff Clark from Milwaukee, and he's a big Second Amendment guy. He likes the Constitution. He said he would die for the Constitution, and then I realized he's a Democrat, and I was surprised. I was like, wow, really? He's a Democrat? He's that passionate about the Second Amendment and the Constitution. It didn't seem, you know, like something I would hear from somebody that's a Democrat. So, you know, I guess I need to stop the left-wing, right-wing thing and focus more on, you know, just what's happening. Because that's how I've always been, and I've kind of changed a few things. Or not changed a few things, I guess I've kind of got pointed in different directions regarding this whole situation, and got a little overexcited, like I was saying. So if I offended anybody that is a Democrat, that, you know, unless you still haven't realized some of the stuff that Hillary's done. I mean, if you're a Democrat and you've realized some of that, and that she gave your party a bad name, then yeah, you can go ahead and unfollow me or leave negative comments, whatever you want to do. I'm fine with that. But I did want to apologize to the Democrats out there that, you know, have a good heart and are dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with. And I think, you know, that might be a big part of targeted individuals not being able to get together and communicate with each other, end up on different sides fighting about that. Well, it's just a distraction from, you know, what's really going on with the surveillance and stuff like that. And as far as the town that I live in, Avondale, I know that all of the voters here in Avondale, well, I don't know, but just kind of doing some math in my head and thinking about how elections go and how different people vote, it's almost impossible that everyone here in this town is liberal, Democrat, and that every single one of them are involved in the gang stalking. You know, it could have nothing to do with that. It could have just something to do with money. And I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. I know that it happens. I know exactly what, you know, my experiences have been. But when you can't find any answers with a thing like this, I think you start kind of reaching for answers, and you want something to happen. You want it to stop. So, you know, in any scientific process, any kind of research you're doing, I know I use that word a lot, research, but I mean, geez, you have to research things for yourself. You're going to make a couple mistakes here and there. There's no way, especially when you hardly have any information about the people that are doing this, there's no way that you're going to get it right every single time, and you might misspeak about some things. So, you know, that could have been what I did. As a matter of fact, I voted for a Democrat one time. I registered Democrat when I lived in Oklahoma. They were trying to pass the, when I say they, we, I was very active with the legalization of medical cannabis in a state run by oil. And man, guess I didn't know what I was getting myself into in that situation. But I was told, I was listening to some people that I thought were friends, and you know, some of them were guiding me in the wrong direction. I don't know if this is true or not, but when I went to vote, I was told that if I want to vote for the legalization of cannabis, that I had to register Democrat in order to vote in the primaries for the representative that was in favor of that. So I went ahead and did that, and if anybody were to look up my voting records, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know. People look up other people's voting records somehow. They seem to have that information on the news and, you know, different journalists and stuff. So I voted Democrat. That was the only thing I really voted for there, was the cannabis initiative, because of the ridiculous amount of chaos that has ensued in my life due to opiates. Not me personally. I've taken them before after surgeries and stuff like that. The most maybe 3 weeks after surgery, quit taking those. But you know, people close to me in my life have died that had opioid addictions. And you know, it's caused me a lot of grief in my life. I went to 2 funerals in 2 days. Well, I was living in Oklahoma. I got a phone call on my birthday, actually, from my ex-wife's, it would be my son's mom, from my ex-wife's sister. I thought somebody was calling me to wish me happy birthday early in the morning. But what it was a phone call letting me know that my son's mother had passed away early in the morning on my birthday. And she had had some addiction issues, and I never saw the final report, so I don't know 100% for sure if that was it, but there was quite a few problems with that, a lot of issues, and you know, you shouldn't assume, but I know that had something to do with it. The the funeral the next day was actually my son's best friend. It was his mother, and she had some issues with that same thing as well. And you know, when two people you know pass away within days of each other from that kind of situation, you really feel the need to do something about it. And I thought that helping legalize cannabis would, you know, could help some other families not have to go through that. And so I did that. I voted Democrat. I'm back now. I'm back here in Arizona. Last time I registered independent, and like I said, I voted for Gary Johnson. You know, there was like a couple percent. He got a couple percent of the vote, and didn't go very far. But you know, I did what I wanted to. The thing I thought was right. So I just wanted to clear that up with everybody. I'm not a super right-wing person. I'm pretty much in the middle, and I like to come up with my own conclusions and not just follow Team A or Team B. And you know, that's what I've done. So hope everybody out there has a good night. Sorry about this intense lighting in the background, but I just thought I'd film in a different spot this time. Hope everybody has a good night. Talk to you later.